Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and respected chairpersons and other key speakers. Uh, First, I should thank and really appreciate the help of Dr. Anil Garg here to giving me a chance to present here, and also like all the members. So I'm Prashanth Gururaja, and I'm a researcher in Prince of Songkla University, uh, Patani in Thailand. And I'm sorry to say that my uh, my guide, my professor, uh, Donald Roy McNeil is not present because he's in Sydney, and he's my guide, and he's an emeritus professor in Macquarie University, and also he is very well-known scholar, prominent member of American Statistical Association, and he was an ex-professor in John Hopkins and Princeton University. So to upon me, I'm a researcher, and also I did go to school too in US, and also I'm basically from India. So a lot of passion to study science in my school and statistics. So I thank my parents as well as the country to give me an opportunity to present here. So when I was studying in school, I had a lot of passion about my science. So I want to know more about science. So I chose wind. So basically it's one of the major weather events. There are many weather events. So wind, hailstorms, rainfall. So this is all given by nature. So it's a very key factor to know what the, can everybody see or hear me? So it's very important to know so and weather event can be extreme as well and normal. So my study now I'm doing research is on extreme weather events. So analysis, measurement, and prediction of extreme weather events such as strong winds. So it might cause extreme devastations. So there's many devastations in the world. So caused by wind, like cyclones, thunderstorms. So I want to give this study to basically which helps the community. So where we can stop major devastations and probably trigger an alarm. So by using scientific model. So my topic of the study is episode-based graph and time series models for wind velocity. So typically in a common man sense, how can I measure wind or analyze wind? And also and build a model. So how can I depict a wind? So that can depict a major devastations. So I just use the pointer here, the first slide of my presentation. So so basically there are a lot of study has been done in wind before, but there were more conventional studies. So I am doing this study basically to how can I cut down my cost and also help weather departments and also renewable energy. So when I started discussing this with my professor, and it was very interesting. So first we built an episode. So I call it episode is basically an period of wind that blows for 4 to 6 hours that we analyzed, and there is a zero wind speed. So it is if we divide wind as episodes, and it is very easy to analyze and predict wind. So first I divide my wind as episodes. That is a wind coming in certain direction for 4 to 6 hours, and there is a pause in wind. And then there will be a certain enhancement of data as well, and also much more illustration of wind, where it is going from. So right now, I'm doing the study for uh, Amritsar in India. So these are more conventional graphs we developed in my study. So like this graph I developed, like getting the data from the reference of US Geological website. And this is more as wind speed and direction scatter plot. But if you see to a common man, it doesn't show anything. So it's just a bunch of blue dots. So like it doesn't tell, although the directions I mentioned there, it is north is 360, east is 90, south is 180, or west is 270. There is nothing has been mentioned. So it is just, as a common man or any scientist, there is nothing, it's more illustrative information or enhanced information. So this data is for almost 10 years. So it's a windrows we call, but to a common man, like we can analyze anything on the wind. And I worked on one more graph, and this also like it is almost the same, but it gives a bit more on direction and also a bit more of colors. So like what is the speed of my wind? So like it was absolutely dramatic, like wind is a very key component, and we should measure it. Like it will cause extreme weather events and damages. So like I said, like I'm very passionate about my science. So like we are in the process of developing an episode. So we created two graphs here. So like the first one and the second one, there's two panels. So like I took a data of 13 days, that is from 2002 for the station of Amritsar, from April 18 to 30th. So I constructed an episode here that is for if wind is blowing for at least for 6 hours and it stops. And see, the first graph is more not illustrative here. I just use the pointer. The point I'm showing you here is 0, but there's a worm run, the graph runs continuously. So like we do not know which direction of, what direction of wind is and what the speed of the wind is. So like I call it like is with continuities. And the graph below is with, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, everybody can hear me? Okay. Here it is more like the worm is running continuously. Even for a common man, we can't understand anything. So like I took the discontinuities off here. I saw continuities. So like there's no zero wind speed here. So I think I should put my presentation. But it is displaying here. But okay. Okay. That's not a problem. Okay. See, like here, what I doing is like I divided my graph into, start from 0 is 360 and 720 and 1080. So for just for like I'm extending the compass here for just for a logical purpose, so like for an illustrative way. So like the wind starts here from 270 degrees here, and the wind speed, say like around 2.7 MPS. So it goes on. So like it gives more illustrated information and enhanced information. So like we can measure wind and also like predict wind up to 15 days or 1 month by using this alternative graph of wind episodes. I'll just move on to the next slide so I got more idea. So like here, like I add wind speed into it. So like using the episode. So like adding an episode, I'm both adding wind speed and wind direction. So when this red worm depicts the wind direction, the black one is wind. Okay, wind direction is a black worm, wind speed is the red worm. So like we can see like both the direction is going and the speed is going. and the velocity as well. Like the wind speed here, the red one, see like it is going probably around 12 miles per hour, 12 mpbs, and this is what we are seeing. So like if I take an aggregate here for the 13 days of the study I'm doing, I divide into the directions. So like most of my wind that has been occurred for this 13 days is for the fourth quarter, that is from 270 to 360 degrees. So that is from west to north, that is northwest direction. So like if we go back to the convention graphs, that doesn't have anything, any illustrated information. So we are providing more illustrated information. Now like for any study, like to do, there should be a proper basement or a model for analysis and direction of wind speed or prediction. So like I use the model for wind speed. So like, as you know, like I'm using the scientific model. The model I'm using is signal and noise. Signal can be like any wind determinants like time, days, periods, wind direction, wind speed. So like I plot a time series graph here. So this is the graph I'm getting, like we are seeing more illustrated information and graphical information enhanced. So like the time of the maximum wind speed, the occurrence like gusts here, which was not in the previous graphs. Okay. So like when I use this model, there was a lot of errors. Basically like when you construct a scientific thing, it gets get right at the first time. There is substantial like correlation between weather determinants, but like there's substantial errors, the models we constructed. So like we should dig down deep into it. Like we try a lot of equations. As you say, like the graphs you are seeing, if you are an scientific thing, there's a lot of outliers here. The model did fit well. So like basically it said is like the errors should be jointly modeled with signal. The signal is the weather determinants. So we tried that model. So there's significant errors again. So like what we did was to fit the model, like we used the linear model and the outcome is the wind speed values. So we transferred the wind speed and wind direction to fit it as basically a good scientific technique. So when we did that, the model fit well, and you can see the transformation, like to a general man or a common man or a scientific, like what's my wind speed or wind direction. So we can easily measure, analyze, and predict wind speed. So, okay, I'll just take a couple of minutes more. Okay. So this shows the model has fitted well here of my values. And this gives the prediction for my wind speed and wind direction for the 13 days to, right now I did it for 1 year. So if you see the CI plot, that is fit 95%. And basically like we working on data from NREL, and like we are using ARIMA for future, like prediction purpose for month, and our model is giving R squared of 55%. That's more than good, and its p-value is less than 0.5. Thank you.